It's another episode of the Wild Lifestyle Show, and today we are discussing purpose. I have two guests here who are both authors of books titled Purpose. So when we come back, we'll talk more. Don't go anywhere.
A brave African queen fought many battles to protect her family from hungry mosquitoes that may carry malaria parasites. Until one day, she discovered something new.
Discover new Raid Day and Night, 3 sprays on 1 poster for 24-hour mosquito protection for the whole family. The future of mosquito protection is here. The revolution will be peaceful. Raid Day and Night. It's good to be tough.
SC Johnson, a family company.
Introducing Sara Luck Biscuity, the new baby cereal from Sara Luck, with a great new biscuity taste that babies absolutely love. And of course, it's fortified with iron to support babies' healthy growth, just like all the other nutritious Sara Luck flavors. Sara Luck, big nutrition for small tummies.
I love the new look of my favorite Nivea black and white deodorant. Same reliable double protection against sweat and against stains. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on my white clothes. Proven 48-hour protection with the new look black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Welcome back. So my beautiful wake up, my makeup, my nails were done by AJ Hair and Makeovers. You can find them at East Legon, Oponglo. They share the same building as EcoBank. My beautiful dress was designed by Loretta Unisex Designs. You can find them at Osu, Kokomlemle and East Legon. Call them for all your beautiful designs. Now, I'd like to introduce my guest, Dr. Isaac Newman. He is a medical doctor and a clinical health psychologist. He is also the author of the book Purpose.
Created for more.
Thank you. I also have Mr. Eric Intudako. He is an author of a book titled Purpose Journal, and he's also a sales and marketing professional.
Yeah.
Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, purpose. When we say purpose, what is purpose, and why should we be interested in this discussion?
When we talk about purpose, we are talking about a reason for the existence of something. That's how simple it gets.
Okay.
A reason for the existence of something. And so, why is it important that anybody has a purpose? Or, everything that God created has a purpose. That's my considered opinion.
Right.
It is difficult to look through nature and point to something that doesn't have a purpose, both flora and fauna.
Okay.
Hey,
somebody doesn't know flora and fauna. But you're the one who said it.
You should explain it.
Explain. Didn't you sign?
I mean, yeah, of course.
That's why you know.
So basically, flora will be the vegetation, and then fauna, the animals or whatever in it. You understand? So everything that exists in the created world has a purpose. And, there was a study done by Johns Hopkins University in which over 8,000 people were polled across over 40 colleges. Okay. And the simple question was posed to them: what do you consider most important in life? 16% of respondents said making a lot of money. But over 70%, close to 78%, said finding the purpose for their life, finding a meaning for their life. So purpose is really very important. And for anybody to have a purpose for their life means that they simply know why they are existing. They simply know why they are living. Okay. Yeah.
How does purpose affect our well-being? Doc, you are a medical...
Generally, beyond medical stuff, from what he said, it's the reason for existence. The totality of everything you're doing is purpose. Normally, when people talk about purpose, they think about doing things. But purpose goes beyond doing things. It's what you were created to become and do. You become something, then you do something. So purpose is two-dimensional. And so beyond the activities is what you are becoming, and the product is what you're doing. And so if everything around you is purpose, then you have to pay attention to it. All your decisions, all your choices how you use your time, your investments, the impact you're finally going to make, the legacies you're going to leave, the eternal and earthly rewards and glory, your networks, everything about you has to be in the direction of your purpose, because everything will determine that. And so there are some people who are fulfilling their original purpose, and because of that they are making a certain level of impact. And that is determining how they do everything else, their time and everything. Then there are people who are doing other things, which are not the original reason why they were created, but they are occupying themselves with many things. And those things are also occupying their time, investment and all that. So purpose will define you. Okay. Everything about you, everything you do, wherever you go, your networks and everything. So that becomes important.
So I was looking at the well-being. Are we sure we've answered that?
So well-being generally has to do with you, what you're becoming, and what is affecting your life. And purpose is going to decide that.
Okay. So when I said well-being, I was thinking about health.
So your physical, your mental, psychological, social well-being is determined by your purpose.
So if you're not able to get there,
let me give you an example.
You can't even be depressed.
There are some people who are able to handle situations properly because they are going somewhere. There are some people who develop a certain kind of lifestyle because of where they're going. There are some people who decide on a certain strict health activities because of where they're going. They really don't want anything else to disrupt where they're going. There are some people who just won't smoke or drink because of where they're going. So purpose affects everything, including your health.
One thing that makes me very convinced that every human being has a purpose and should find that purpose is because I started by saying that if you look throughout nature, it's difficult to see something that doesn't have a purpose. When we were in school, I did a bit of science. So even some organs that were thought to be vestigial, because...
Hey, people don't know vestigial.
So evolution. I mean, people believe, I'm not an evolutionist, I'm a creationist. But people believe in evolution. And it is thought that the process of evolution made some organs in the body lose their function. And so they become vestigial. So they don't have any functionality. But as the body of scientific knowledge grows, even some of these organs, functions and uses are being found for them. And so it is important that human beings, the crown jewel of God's creation, would exist without a purpose.
But Doc, how does this affect our psychological health?
I wouldn't say psychological health. I'll say health.
Health.
Because everything around us is health. To be able to also add a bit to existential crisis and also make it a bit simple is that anything that does not make your life worth living is existential crisis. When your existence doesn't make sense. Right? And when people are going through any challenging event, it challenges their reason to exist. So anybody who has any chronic illness, anybody who is failed, anybody who is going through any traumatic event, rape, abuse, whatever it is, anybody who is having challenges with their job, maybe they're very hopeful about a certain contract they didn't go through, or their jobs is challenging, they can go into existential crisis. So any crisis at all in life that challenges people's quest for meaning or ability to live and become fulfilled, then they go into that. Another dimension of that is the fact that when people become what they are not, based on some societal expectations, what we call real and ideal self. Your real self is what others have made you to become. Ideal self is what you were created to become, your potential.
Real self. So real self. People have made you become.
So that is reality. The reality is that my mother wanted me to be a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not happy. So there are some people who are doctors who are not happy because they were not created to become doctors.
So it's either way. I can be my ideal self or my real self.
Yes. So when there is a conflict, so the ideal self is what you really were created to become. When there's a conflict between your real self and ideal self, then you go also into crisis, existential crisis.
Doc, we have to go for a quick break now. When we come back, Doctor will explain further.
Tired of all the old ways of fighting mosquitoes? Discover the new Raid Day and Night. 3 sprays on 1 poster for 24-hour mosquito protection for the whole family. The future of mosquito protection. Raid Day and Night. It's good to be tough.
memory, coordination, confidence. You put more into your baby's development than you think. And now you can put more into every mealtime. Sara Luck combines iron, vitamin C, and probiotics to support physical and mental development. Nestle Sara Luck, now with Iron Plus. Big nutrition for small tummies.
I love the new look of my favorite Nivea black and white deodorant. Same reliable double protection against sweat and against stains. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on my white clothes. Proven 48-hour protection with the new look black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Memo akwaba de ba Swiss Cafe restaurant. Aduane bi a wope bia. Say ya brofo de, ana Ghana de. Swiss Cafe restaurant, eye ni nyina. Kwesi ada biara, buffet papa bi twen wo Swiss Cafe restaurant. Wait there, you serve yourself, papa bi. Wo didi na quartet bi so born yompa. Kwesi ada biara sa wo pon asori a, woni abusua, enamfofo, adofo, emra medidi wo Swiss Cafe. I wa Lisa Hotel, Northridge.
My bush for dear. Question the beer, your point, sorry. Alisa Hotel nearby, Swiss Cafe, Sunday branch. Or maybe I need dear, Nani board that from.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Are you an organization or group that needs nutritional health education, nutritional assessments? Are you struggling with diet-related diseases like diabetes, hypertension, high blood cholesterol? Call Optimum Nutrition Care Consult on 0501516186. We've been talking about purpose. And so back to existential crisis, right? Would you like to add more, Doc?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, anything that challenges your existence, what it means is that people should exist for a reason, a purpose. And that purpose is what puts them on the path of fulfillment, self-actualization. When that doesn't happen, regardless of their financial status, regardless of their fame, regardless of what they're involved in, they're still going to come down with some problems. Most of the high-flying people who commit suicide, most of them is because of extension. For example, let me give you, let's say Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was popular, had almost everything, but he didn't have himself. So he was not satisfied with anything about him, though he was a high-flying performer. Right. So purpose is not really engaging yourself in activities, but purpose is engaging yourself in activities you were created to engage in. Because what you were created to become is what gives you fulfillment. And that is what you have been empowered to do. So all your talents and all that. Our society makes us become what they think is right. So we have people who want to become doctors, nurses and all that. But forgetting that beyond that, there are more to that. For example, I'm a carpenter. I do a lot of carpentry. I do a lot of itinerant preaching. And I write books and all kinds of speaking engagements here and there. I do a lot of graphics. I'm very, very good with graphics. Right. Wow. So
did you have to train for?
I didn't have to train. It's me.
Even polish it?
No, it's me. It's me. I love wood. I love wood. And so purpose is the total you, using the total you to fulfill a certain divine assignment you were created to fulfill. And every purpose has to come from a creator, actually. So when you don't have a connection to God, it's difficult. Phones have creators. The moment purpose shows up, there should be a creator.
Wow.
And when that relationship is solid, then life makes sense.
I can agree with you on that. But are there questions we need to ask ourselves to be able to identify purpose?
Absolutely. So in my book, I talk about the 4 questions of purpose. And I believe that for every story to be well told, there should be some elements. So, what are you here for? Question number 1. Number 2, why are you here? Sorry, number 1 is, who are you? What are you here for? What do you have? Who do you serve with what you have? These are 4 questions that I ask in my book. So the first one, who are you? You know, in the book of Acts, some young men embarked on some senseless, journey. They are called the sons of Sceva.
Okay.
They went out to cast out a demon. And the demon asked them, Paul, I know. Jesus, I know. Who are you? I'm sure if they had answered that question, they wouldn't have gone on that journey. So who are you, for me, speaks to your values, your strengths, weaknesses in terms of performance and behavior. Okay? And then, what do you have? Like I said, going back to my philosophy, Aristotle said, everything has a natural function. And it strives to fulfill it. And when it does, it's in its natural state. So everybody has something. It could be singing. It could be talking like you're doing. It could be kicking a ball like Messi. It could be jumping like Jesse. Is it Jesse Jones? I've forgotten. Jesse. Everybody has something. And then the third one is, who do you serve? See, every talent is supposed to serve a certain, target group.
Like he said,
you
should have a creator, like purpose should have.
Exactly. Okay, so I will differ a little bit from that. So every talent is supposed to serve a certain group. Now, what you're doing right now, if you were doing it in my village, how many people will appreciate it? Okay, what dog does, there are certain people who will not appreciate it. What I do, there are certain people who will not appreciate it. So you should know who to serve with what you have. I don't know if I've gone through all four. I mean, I messed it up somewhere. So basically, these are the 4 questions that everybody needs to answer as you go through finding your purpose for living. Okay,
so as you're talking about purpose, I'm also thinking about choice. Is there a relationship between purpose and choice?
Definitely. Doc will have
your in fulfilling purpose is your choices guarantees access to fulfilling purpose. And so every choice should be directed towards achieving purpose. Otherwise, it's going to just delay your purpose or slow down your purpose or make you deviate from your purpose. So every choice is taking you a step closer to your purpose or a step away from your purpose.
So your purpose should determine the choices you make.
Okay.
So there's a strong correlation there.
Okay.
Yes.
And people will just miss their destinies because of what they are choosing.
Yes.
And one important choice for everybody is marriage. Who you choose determines where you go.
Very true.
Who you choose determines.
Especially for us women, because the men are in control, so we follow.
Well, it's not really control and follow.
If your husband is going somewhere, for example, if I have a church that I attend and I'm so into it, I marry someone who is not in my church and I now have to follow him to his church. I may not be so happy going to his church, but because I'm a wife, I have to follow. And it comes down to choice, right? So it means that if I know my purpose, then I should choose someone. I should choose someone who probably is in my church and I can be happy with that person, right?
You are a helper. Okay, so you are supposed to help your husband, on his life's journey.
Okay.
So yes, I agree with you. If you know, you're going to be a help to somebody whose purpose or vision you don't support, why go there?
Right.
But actually, it's also in 2 ways. Marriage fulfills a purpose. So God brings 2 people whose purposes are complementary to achieve a purpose. Right. So, for example, the husband is going somewhere. Obviously, the wife is also going somewhere. And at some point, they must go somewhere together.
Right.
That's what it is.
Is it at some point or they must?
At some point. So, for example, I'm walking this way. The man is also walking this way. At some point, our path will have to cross.
Why don't we work together once we are married?
So that is it. So purpose helps you fulfill a certain unique destiny together. So it's not like I'm fulfilling my own thing. You're also fulfilling your own thing. So follow me. That is not marriage.
That's why it's important for the two to be one.
That is why.
I'm doing my thing.
If your purpose is not complementary enough, there will be problems. So if you're a woman, you should be able to marry someone whose purpose you can complement. If you're a man, you should be able to carry someone along whose purpose can complement your purpose. And so some people divorce not because the man is bad or the wife is bad, but they just cannot find complementary help from each other.
That's true.
There are a lot of people who are some women have to stop work, stop achieving certain goals because their husband doesn't think so. And the wife is also not happy, excited about what the man is doing. So there's always conflict at home. And people will sacrifice what does not bring them fulfillment. If marriage brings fulfillment, then they would continue. And the only way marriage can be fulfilling is when the two of them are pursuing a certain kind of goal that makes each one of them fulfilled. So in marriage, it's not like I'm following you, but in following, I'm fulfilling a certain purpose. And that's what it is. So it's not like, some men have a certain mindset about, it's me, whatever I tell you, you must. So sit home, don't do this, don't do that. Right? That is why who you choose is what you get. Who you choose is what you get. You can't choose someone who is pursuing a goal you're not happy about and think that it's going to change along the line.
That's true. On that note, on that marriage purpose note, we are going for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring you the Healthy You segment. Welcome back. On Healthy You segment today, Mrs. Ado is asking, since my nutritionist started managing my diet, I've seen great improvement in my blood pressure levels. Should I keep taking my medications? Hey, there are some brain nutritionists. All right. So, Mrs. Ado, we are happy to know that you've seen improvement in your blood pressure. But before you make a decision to go off your medications, the decision has to be made by your doctor and your nutritionist. We need to be sure how consistent your blood pressure has been in terms of it being normal. And your doctor together with your nutritionist can help you make that decision. But I cannot sit here. I don't have any medical history and give you that information. But please, at the moment, continue to take your medication and follow your diet plan as well and see your experts for concrete advice. So back to my experts here. How do we discover our purpose before we round up?
Okay, so I'll take that first, and then Doc can come in. Doc talked about where there's a purpose, there should be a creator, like the creator factor should come in. So the God factor, because if you were created, then you have a creator. And who better to know the purpose for his creation than the creator? Okay, so we need to ask God. We need to pray about it. We need to start early. We have to teach children to start finding and help them to start finding their purpose very early. So the God factor. Then I also talk about the joy factor. What do you love doing? When did you experience the most sustained period of joy? What were you doing? I have a nephew. When he was small, whenever he sees people playing football, no movement. He wouldn't move. He loves football so much. Could it be? So these are all ways in which we can discover purpose. Of course, plus several others. Okay. But yeah.
Doctor, would you like to add more?
To add to what he said, I would say that purpose is three-dimensional. There is a God aspect of your purpose. There is a humanity aspect of your purpose. Then also all your professional things may come in. Right, so obviously if God created you, then he must inspire purpose. Trying to find something good to do is not purpose. It's trying to find what you were created to do. That is what purpose is.
That sounds more Christian.
So it's not about...
If you are not a Christian and you don't have a relationship with God, you may not think about it the way you are thinking.
So if that is the problem with not having God. Then there is no purpose. It's difficult to comprehend. But if the purpose of a phone was determined by the phone manufacturer, obviously there's someone, and this life didn't just show up, right? There is a creator, and that creator created you for a purpose. So like you said, you need to be able to spend some time with him, right? And that God-inspired burden about things that make you angry, things that you feel compelled to solve. Then that becomes the foundation. Then also we look at your various experiences. God takes you through so that you can take others through, right? So there are many things, experiences we're having that inspire a certain purpose and prepares us for purpose. So you may have people who may have gone through several things, and based on that, God inspired a certain burden. And that burden drove them to start certain things that is profitable to others. Then we talk about your abilities, right? The things you can do. The things you can do should give you an idea, right? Like you said, if you can sing, it means that obviously there's some aspect of your purpose that has to do with singing. If you can heal like I do as a medical prophet, that means there's an aspect of your purpose that has to do with that. Then we talk about who you are, your makeup, right? Some are extroverts, others are introverts. We have a way of doing things, and we have been wired to fit our purpose, right? So these are bits and pieces. I use what I call the dream principle, DREAM. D has to do with God-inspired desires. The rules has to do with principles that guide your passion, things that you can see from God's word, experiences like I talked about. Your A is abilities and M is your makeup, right? Others use some principle called shape, right? Your spiritual gifts, your personality, your abilities, and all that, right? So and it's not easy. Purpose is not discovered accidentally. It is discovered intentionally. Accidental things only confirm intentional things. I hope that was clear.
Accidental.
So accidental means that maybe you're taking a stroll, an idea pops up. Those things are accidental things. Or now people use prophecies. Prophecies are only accidental things. But what you have intentionally made time to discover. You should have nights where you just sit down and think and ask questions. And write things down. And one of the best ways to fulfill purpose is to write it down.
Thank you. Most of us don't write anything. True. Habakkuk.
Yes.
Quote it for me.
2:1 and 2.
Thank you. So write the vision down for an appointed time. This has been the Wow Lifestyle Show. If you want to know more about purpose, you can get the books. Please do well to support my doctor and my good friend. This has been the Wow Lifestyle Show. My beautiful wig, makeup, and nails were done by AJ Hair and Makeovers. You can find them at East Legon, Oponglo. They share the same building as EcoBank. My beautiful dress was designed by Loretta Unisex Designs. Call her for all your beautiful designs. You can find them at Osu, East Legon, and Kokomlemle. Make sure to identify your purpose. See you next week.